This is Group 15's project presentation for the Introduction to Public Policy and Service course. Opening Statement. Pro-New Public Administration. Having begun with Dwight Waldo within the first 1968 Middlebrook Conference, the new public administration era of public administration was focused on restoring ethical concerns into the service sector in order to improve public faith and confidence in the government as the United States dealt with socio-economic imbalances, the civil rights movement, and unjustifiable continued involvement in the Vietnam War. This era of public administration put great emphasis on impartiality, democracy, and social justice, while still maintaining a level of focus towards efficiency and administration. Major scholars associated with the new public administration were H. George Fredrickson and political scientist Dwight Waldo. Fredrickson organized the Second Middlebrook Conference and stressed the importance of administration considering social and economic differences among the public. Not only did Waldo organize the first Middlebrook Conference that ignited the start of the new public administration era, but he also challenged the function of public administrators at the time, where there was a lot of instability, and challenged if they were even responsive to important problems occurring at the time.
Opening statement to Pro-New Public Management. New Public Management, or NPM for short, is a series of administrative reforms introduced by federal government during the 1980s. The main principle of new public management was to emphasize the 3 E's. Those 3 E's consist of economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. This was done by downplaying the importance of regulation. Christopher Hood was actually the first person to share these terms of new public management in his book, written in 1991. His book was actually called A Public Management for All Seasons. As mentioned before, the 3 E's emphasized by NPM, new public management was sought to improve the public sector's effectiveness and productivity. And because of public administration terms such as manager, service provider, and customer were incorporated and gained significance in the field of public administration.
Principles. Pro-New Public Administration. 3 main viewpoints associated with the era of the new public administration are related to administrators' stances against injustice, the prioritization of the people, and anti-hierarchical structures. Administrators, a part of the NPA, should not be indifferent to issues and must intently oppose injustices that impact the public. Neutrality is viewed as unbelievable and impractical within government work for the people. Additionally, administrators, a part of the NPA, should focus more on providing sufficient services that actually benefit and support the citizens than on services that are considered to be efficient but not as valuable. Efficiency should never be stressed more than being receptive to the people and working towards solving issues that citizens are dealing with. Thus, a certain level of ethical morale must be upheld in order to give the people their rightful voice within the politics and operations of their community. Finally, in this administration era, to achieve social equity and societal change, flexibility in service sector work is seen as crucial. Thus, the hierarchical structure of public administration must be discarded in favor of decentralized power that is regarded as more useful and effective in servicing the greater interests of the people.
Principles of pro-new public management. The very main principle of new public management, as mentioned before, is solely to emphasize the 3 E's. Those are economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. This is done by de-emphasizing the importance of regulation. With new public management, there is also greater emphasis on consumerism. Citizens are considered to be the consumers. One of new public management's main attributes is empowerment of citizens and to ensure their quality services. Another principle new public management focuses on is more private sector styles of managing. New public management aims to reduce expenses as well as facilitating income. This is done by contracting out governmental sectors and secure maximum income of the government. Increasing the flexibility and mobility of organizational structure, personnel, and working conditions is another significant characteristic of new public management. Lastly, employee performance is managed and measured through reports, and it brings more of a significance to the role of manager-administrator.
Position points. Pro New Public Administration. The system of new public management is one that prioritizes efficiency through means of competition and results. By centering a system around certain performance metrics, much of the nuance and care that is needed to handle real issues with real people can be discarded in meeting a certain number. Areas of public administration, ranging from utilities to policing, are marred by the effects of prioritizing competition, efficiency, and privatization. A current issue in the field deals within the realm of utilities. The privatization and siloing of the Texas power grid led to a historic statewide blackout amidst freezing temperatures that saw Texans paying thousands of dollars for electricity if their service was still up. Following the spirit of new public administration, an electricity grid that was built to withstand extreme weather events and a payment model that prioritizes accessibility over profit could have prevented over $80 billion in losses to the Texas economy. Another example that is in the forefront of national politics is policing. Many police departments direct their officers to hit arrest and citation quotas to create the appearance of an effective police force through incentives such as overtime pay, food, and other benefits. NYU research has found that quotas led officers to fabricate or stretch reality to falsely arrest people while placing less focus on addressing more violent and serious crimes. By emphasizing ethical standards and increasing levels of community accountability, police could potentially build a better relationship with their communities while creating a safer environment. These examples clearly illustrate just a few of the many potential positive impacts that new public administration can have. By implementing programs such as community policy boards that are granted power to exercise watchdog powers, law enforcement agents could be more accountable to the communities they serve. By easing off of quotas and deprioritizing profit margins in public services, more consideration and effort can be directed to the quality of a utility or other public service instead of the short-term efficiency. Overall, more refined ethical values implemented through the new public administration can be put in place, leading to administrators who are more concerned with opposing issues that impede upon the rights, liberties, and lives of the citizens that they work for.
Position points. Pro New Public Management. Many would argue managing public policy like a business puts citizens last. But in the new public management era, the citizen or customer is the priority of the program. After all, without customers, there would be no program to manage. Applying business processes like performance measurement is also centered around the customer. By managing and measuring employee performance, employees are held accountable for the work they perform. This data can be shared with the public and increase trust in the program and its employees. The general public and customers of the program have a right to know that employees are following guidelines and applying them fairly and accurately. Many programs share this information voluntarily, and in the state of Florida, the public and program customers can request public records or utilize the Florida Has a Right to Know website to ensure employee accountability. The new public management era is also beneficial to the public due to its flexibility in contracting out services that might be better managed or less expensive to manage through a private agency. This flexibility gives programs another opportunity to find ways to remain efficient, economic, and effective. Closing remarks. New public administration emerged during a time of radical cultural change in the United States and focuses on the changing needs of citizens while prioritizing social equality. In this current era, new public administration could have a positive impact on current administrative problems as the United States again faces cultural change in the face of economic uncertainty. As the needs of citizens change and evolve, so should public policy. Our administration now has an even greater ability to connect with citizens for their feedback and should be reaching out directly to the people that utilize its programs. As our citizens become more diverse, our administration should seek out diverse viewpoints in policy creation. It makes sense that the new public management era follows the new public administration era because the public policies were already written. New public management prioritizes organizational management by managing and measuring employee performance. This era is less concerned with the creation of policy, but more concerned with how the policy is executed by employees. The general public desires accountability from government agencies in this current administration, and new public management is able to fulfill those desires through the use of public records and other agencies that track government accountability, providing a positive impact on current administration problems.